Hi, welcome to Christian Meditative Yoga, episode 19A. We've titled this one Lotus. We're continuing from 18A where we're working on lotus positions. I'm Julia.
And I'm Boo.
And
this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
In our meditative positions, the lotus is one of the integral parts of any kind of yoga. And I'm now doing the S-E-I-Z-A. I would say Seiza or Seiza on that, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. The pronunciation. This is basically a hero pose, which has always been a difficult pose for me, but not with the cushion that I have. I got two big couch cushions, big square couch cushions off my couch. I've got one for Boo and one for me. And I've got my feet, my legs bent, and my feet back up on top, which makes them about 4 inches up off the ground there, bringing them a little closer to my body. Mm-hmm. And I've got a stuffed monkey and a pillow under my rear here, so that I'm sitting here. It's very comfortable like this. This is a really good thing to put your feet up higher off the ground there, and you can do it with a blanket or a block. I just decided a couch cushion sounded really good after watching several yoga instructors talk about the kind of cushion you need to sit on to do lotus. Our first scripture is Philippians 4:6. We've chosen scriptures from the Bible that are about flowers. There's only one flower scripture, the last one we'll read, that actually has the word lotus per se in it. But there's a lot about just flowers. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Love that one. And then we have Isaiah 40, verse 8. The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God will stand forever. Very popular quote. And it's so popular that it's mentioned in other places in the Bible, in the New Testament. Our next scripture, 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 24. For all flesh is like grass, and all its glory like the flower of grass. The grass withers and the flower fails. The next thing we're going to do is the Quarter Lotus. Boo is good at that. She's actually sitting in it now. That's just the cross-legged.
Yes.
And you can see my cushion here. I'm going to move over so you can see this nice big green cushion. Green leather cushion there, and it's pretty firm, so that I'm sitting 3 or 4 inches off the ground, and my legs can kind of drape down to do the Quarter Lotus. The fourth scripture is from Isaiah, Isaiah 35. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice, and the blossom like the crocus. Now, the crocus is kind of probably translated, it might have been able to be translated lotus. Lotus indicates, of course, water, a body of water, which might turn to mud. But that's Isaiah chapter 35, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Now, for the half lotus is definitely a lot easier to do. You can do the half lotus,
yes,
right?
I can do the half lotus.
Okay. In the half lotus, you can either put one leg under and then put the other leg on top of it, or else you can put one leg on top of your leg and fold the other leg under it. So you can either put one on top, or you can pull one under the bottom.
Who pulled one on top?
Okay, and I pulled one on top too. I like to do it that way. These nice cushions and stuffed animals we have makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely.
To work on your legs and knees and more comfortable. And we have
more psychologically comfortable too.
We have a famous this is Leviathan or Behemoth.
Yes, and his
the
nickname
monster
is Dino.
that's mentioned in the book of Job. This is Dino.
Yes, that's Dino.
And Dino makes it a lot easier. If you need to prop a monkey or a bear or a little poo under you.
It's a baby poo.
It really does help to make you very comfortable working on lotus. Okay, do you have a scripture for us?
I certainly do. Matthew 6:28. And why are you anxious about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin.
All right. And the full lotus is really, I'm not up to it yet, but I'm getting closer. And this stuff is really helping to be able to prop things up that are soft. And it just does something for you psychologically, I think, as much as anything. Don't you, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Just having soft stuff.
Yeah.
And you can kind of work it a little easier if there's soft stuff
And then
there.
if you start feeling a little ache in your knee, stretch your legs out.
Yeah, you don't want to push yourself where you hurt. And your ankles really have to work on flexibility.
Yes.
That's a big deal. So I'm doing the closest I can do to full lotus now, which is more of a half lotus, but it's a closer half lotus. At any rate, do you have another scripture for us?
I certainly do. Isaiah 28:1. Behold the fading flower of its glorious beauty, which is on the head of the rich valley of those overcome with wine.
Beware the drunks at Ephraim.
Yes.
Talking about people who drink themselves silly.
Right.
And of course, a lot of people do it when they're young. It's just not a good habit for your whole
They say
life.
that's how the Persian Empire fell.
Oh, what I wanted to tell you was about this lady who was 98 years old in Yoga Journal that I read, where she said that she doesn't drink water anymore. She just drinks wine. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if she drinks 8 glasses of wine a day, but I was impressed with that because she was doing really good yoga and she was 98.
Right.
A lot of people use a little wine in order to do yoga because it does relax you so much.
Yes.
Which, I mean, it can be a good idea unless you have a tendency to alcoholism.
Right.
Now we do have
or if anyone in your family does too.
Yeah, we do have the Burmese Burmese lotus, which is where you put, you don't sit in Indian style, you sit close to Indian style, but both legs are on the floor. And these cushions make it really easy to do. To sit up straight and breathe in and out. In and out. That's Burmese. Do you have another scripture?
Job 14:2. He comes out like a flower and withers. He flees like a shadow and continues not.
Excuse me. Wow.
That
I hope
was
I'm not
Job.
getting COVID or something.
I don't think you are.
I don't think I
these
am.
are
I think it's all the dust from all of these
all the
pillows and
pillows
things.
and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So another way to work on lotus is to lay back, to like come at it from a reclining point of view.
Right.
And that's a good way to do it. And also you can do some exercises that help you toward lotus. And you have the benefit of having gravity on your side there.
Right.
To work on it. And so I think you have like 2 more scriptures or something. 3? Okay. This one's about Solomon's house.
Yes. 1 Kings 6:18. The cedar within the house was carved in the form of gourds and open flowers. I can imagine a lotus carved like that.
Yeah, Solomon had a beautiful, beautiful house. And
Yes.
He created a beautiful temple for the Lord, too.
He did.
And I think he must have done it in the right spirit because there was no destructiveness going on with that.
Right.
It was just a really nice
Well,
time in history.
He actually summoned demons to help him to do
What?
that. Yes, the temple, yes.
I need to read some
Yes,
more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psalm 103:15. As for man, his days are like grass. He flourishes like a flower of the field.
All right, and I'm going to do Happy Baby here, and I'm really happy with all these stuffed animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially Baby Pooh. Baby Pooh.
All right, and now the last scripture is the only one that actually has the real word lotus in it.
And it's also about Dino, the behemoth.
Yeah, here you go. Here's Levithian, or Behemoth. How do we say that?
Behemoth.
Behemoth. Anyway, here is our
Yes,
giant aquatic creature
giant,
that
nasty
can snap
thing
at you.
can snap at you, yes.
Okay.
He lies under the lotus plants, hiding in the protection of marshy reeds. Lotus plants cover him with their shade. The willows by the brook surround him. So So that's the monster.
All right, and we want to thank you for joining us. And always remember, this is the day the Lord has made.
I will rejoice and be glad in it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Thanks.